All right, and tonight we are recognizing Jill Burrell, who is forever entered into our archives as the first full-time female career firefighter paramedic for the city of Indianola, Iowa. Pretty darn exciting. Congrats. And we love that you're going to be a role model for all the young girls out there who want to be a firefighter too. All right, welcome. I got that on video, but I didn't get it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Just need one real quick. 3, 2, 1.
Sorry.
Where's everybody going?
Must be refreshments.
You're not staying for the treasurer's report?
Oh, how nice. All right.
Sorry, John.
You thought
I
everybody was
tried.
here for you.
No respect.
We're going to move into open forum. If there's anybody here that would like to discuss anything that's not on the agenda, please come forward. Hearing none, seeing none, we're going to move into consent agenda. Is there a motion?
So moved.
A second then?
Second.
Comments, questions? Jackie, please call the roll.
Councilmember Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall.
Aye. Motion carries. Thank you. Now on to our treasurer's report. Doug said he's got a good one.
Mayor Council, the report that's in front of you is for the month of July. And it would be the first year of the 21-22 year. And one of the things that seems like I've spent time referring to about the last 4 or 5 meetings is fund balances. And Ryan spoke a few words that Warren County Economic Development had a at the Balloons on Wednesday morning, whatever day that was. And they kind of went around the whole thing, and Ryan spoke for the city, but one of the things that he said had to do with the bond rating for the city of Indianola. And with you going to issue some approximately $40 million worth of debt for the sewer plant, a bond rating is so important. You have saved this city, in my opinion, a few $1 million over this. I'm sure they're 20-year bonds. Is that, but they'll be longer than 20?
Some 20, some 30. Yep.
Yeah, anyway, so it's really nifty. You had those fund balances and that the bond rating was a good rating. Very, very important. Same thing on this report. Again, the fund balances have grown. Now, if you were to compare them to June, the end of June with the end of July, they're going to go down because basically in the general fund, it's property tax receipts, and you just receive those 2 times a year. So the fund balances are going to go down a little bit, but they'll go back up. So anyway, I know I've mentioned about local option sales tax, which I think tonight, Councilman Marchant told me that about 42% of those bond payments will come from local option sales tax. So that's continued to grow, and it came in at about 726,000 for the month of July. I don't really know if there's anything else other than when we get down to investments, we had some almost 36 million. And the only one that really improved as far as the interest rate was Bankers Trust, which a year ago was at 0.71. Now it's 1.84. So that's better. That's we always like it to be higher, but that would be my report, subject to any questions.
Mayor, if I can just add, sorry, Mr. Shaw, the
just today, the city got, you mentioned local option sales tax. Just today, the city got our projections for local option sales tax from the Department of Revenue. Our budget was, we're forecasting about 1.5 million. And that number that the state's estimating is going to be a little bit over 2 million. So the local option sales tax continues to far outpace the expectations that first had and continue to have. So it's a good sign of a strong local economy and a good thing for our community.
I didn't misquote you, I hope, at the meeting.
No, we, I mean, we'll talk about, we got Mike Maloney here and he'll talk about it later with our bonds, the recent sale of bonds and the great interest rate we got. And that's because of good financial practices as stipulated in Moody's scorecard for us. So thank you.
Questions for Mr. Schultz?
Motion to approve the treasurer's report.
Second.
Jackie?
Councilmember Hewlin.
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Kling.
Aye.
Schroeder.
Aye.
Southall.
Aye.
Marchant.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We need to receive and file the EMS billing activity report for June 2021.
Motion to receive and file.
Second. Okay. Questions on it? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. On to council reports. John Parker, you're up first with
Aye.
Greater Des Moines Convention and Visitors Bureau.
Yep, I screwed up and did not get back to Jackie. I did not have a report for this time and she asked and I didn't catch the email in time. So
That's
I
all right.
apologize. I will have one next time because we'll have our next meeting.
That's kind of like a report.
Right. I'm reporting there's no report.
No problem. All right, on to Councilman Bob Kling, Metro Advisory.
Not to disappoint anybody, but it's very short. There were two main things. We met on August 9th. Two main things were discussed. We had an update on DART. During the pandemic, they had roughly 6,000 riders per day. They've acquired 7 electric buses that get 200 miles per charge. As they plan for the future, they are trying to get a 5% hotel motel tax to help them to be able to expand in the metro. And I know discussions have been had with them before, but the amount of money they want, but if they're gonna start with a hotel motel tax, I did point out to them that 65% of the people who live in Warren County work in Polk County. And they did say the only thing that they responded to was that they are thinking about having a route to Norwalk. But that's as far as that goes anyway. And we had a report from the Polk County Housing Authority. Their new initiative is called Here We Grow, because in the next 20 years, the Metro will need substantially more affordable workplace housing. And we know with the current price of building and construction, new housing has risen substantially, and their plan is to figure out how to provide more affordable housing. And anybody can look and see what their ideas or details of the plan is online, and it's under howwegrow.city. So that's all I have.
All right. Thank you. Questions? All right, mayor's report, just a couple of things. We have no council study meeting tonight. Weren't aware of that. Our next meeting, we jumped to Tuesday, September 7th because of the Labor Day holiday. And we are, I will wish everybody a good school year. We're knocking on that door for some of you. Our Irving kiddos are already back, but for the rest of you, I hope it is a great year. And then August 30th, Valley Place reconstruction starts. That's the road over by True Bank and Iowa Realty. As you all know, roads are a priority, and West Iowa was just completed. If you haven't been on it, it's very, very nice. I highly recommend taking a drive, but it's a great example of us using data and then taking care of our infrastructure. So good work being done. Thanks for everything all of our city staff does. And then I have a proclamation declaring August 26th as Women's Equality Day in Indianola. Kind of exciting with our first female firefighter. Whereas women are noteworthy contributors, innovators, and leaders in nearly every sector of our society. And whereas women face unique daily struggles for equality in all spheres of society, where the wage gap between men and women still impacts women's economic and political power, and gender-based discrimination still plagues workplaces and business transactions, And whereas women in the United States have continuously worked to gain full rights and privileges as citizens of the United States. And whereas Congress has designated August 26th, the date the 19th Amendment was certified, as Women's Equality Day. And whereas recognizing Women's Equality Day as a day of celebration throughout the country commemorates the struggles of women to be heard as fierce advocates who gained the statutory right to vote. It is also a day that emphasizes the importance of women's work for democracy, women's continued fight for equal rights, and that the United States commends and supports them. Now, therefore, be it resolved, I, Mayor Pepper, do hereby proclaim August 26th as Women's Equality Day throughout the city of Indianola as a day of celebrating the importance of women's suffrage movement, and I remind all citizens that we all have the opportunity and the responsibility to create a society that gives both men and women equal voice. Be it further resolved that I encourage all citizens to reflect on the continuing struggle for equality in the workplace and the role of women in our public life. Women in public service and government have long served this nation by working to clear barriers, enforce laws, implement new ideas, and change people's attitudes. In witness whereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the city of Indianola on this 16th day of August, 2021. There you go. All right. We need to consider the appointment of George, who also goes by Brad Green, to serve on the Veterans Memorial Commission for a term beginning immediately and ending June 30th, 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay. Jackie?
Councilmember Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling.
Aye.
Motion carries. Welcome aboard, Brad. We're glad you can join us in this. We appreciate your service. On to public consideration, old business. First item is the second consideration of an ordinance repealing Chapter 145, Manufactured and Mobile Homes, Chapter 146, Mobile Home Parks, and Chapter 164, Small Wind Energy Conversion Systems. Charlie's here. Hi, Charlie.
Good evening. Charlie DeSalle, Community and Economic Development Director. As mentioned at your last meeting, this ordinance is simply just kind of a cleanup from the zoning code and site code or site plan changes that we recently adopted and are now in full implementation. So with that, I know we've had to, well, this will be the second consideration of it. From staff standpoint, I guess we would recommend that third consideration be waived so we can kind of complete this whole process and get moving forward with the next regulation. So any question, I'd be happy to answer them.
I'd like to take a motion that takes care of both of those considerations.
So moved. Second.
Questions then for Charlie? Jackie, please.
Councilmember Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder.
Motion carries. Thank you. And then Hillcrest Downtown Unified
We
Urban.
need to have a motion for the suspend the rules and do the third reading too,
Oh, yes,
Yep.
you're right.
So
I put
with-
them all in one, but.
if that's what we wanted.
So moved.
Second. And we haven't had anybody questioning or concerned or anything like that.
We've had a question from a resident about it, but we explained that we haven't, these regulations exist
Right.
in the new code. These are just, we're eliminating the so no regulations have changed.
Right.
This is just removing placeholders that are no longer needed.
It makes sense. Okay. I just want to make sure that there wasn't anything. that-
And once we explain that, okay, great. So nothing's changed.
Jackie, please.
Councilmember Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder.
Motion carries. Thank you, John.
No problem.
Hillcrest Downtown Unified Urban Renewal Plan. Public hearing on the proposed amendment number 4 to the Hillcrest Downtown Unified Urban Renewal Plan for an urban renewal area in the city of Indianola.
Make a motion to open the public hearing.
Jackie?
Councilmember Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're in the public hearing. Charlie? you wanna
Mayor,
start?
members of the council, really quick, I'm going to try to, the next 4 items on your agenda, if I can just kind of put them under one umbrella real quick and explain them. There's multiple actions obviously that go with them, but 2 amendments, or excuse me, let's start with Amendment 4. Amendment 4, that is necessary as the city has been in kind of negotiations with 2 businesses who are looking to expand within the city. And in order to enter into development agreements with those 2 entities, we have to do an amendment to bring them into the TIF area. As part of that, one of those particular businesses, actually, the TIF district that they are currently in has a sunset that is coming up within a few years. And to get the amount of years that we need on that development agreement, we need to take that property out and then put it back in. And I've got a map here that kind of will explain those 2. And then, so here's, this is where DeArmond Ford is. The Amendment 4 is essentially taking this property out. And then if you go to the next one, Jackie, Amendment 5, what we'll be doing is putting the property back in. So that then gives it a new kind of term on the TIF area. And we're also proposing to add in a little bit more property. So DeArmond Ford, when they purchased it from Schottenkirk, they actually did purchase additional land to the east of there. So we've included that land in there. And then you see that long, narrow strip, that is part of land that will be used for the Willowcrest expansion that would go off to the east as well. So we've included that ground in there as well, because then that allows the city to look at possible TIF funds to help pay for that road. So putting in that's pretty important to the expansion of that. So on Amendment 4, council recall you set the public hearing and consultation meeting. We did hold a consultation meeting with Warren County and the Indianola School District were invited to a consultation meeting on July 26th. Neither party did attend, and those meetings or the minutes were reflected, I think, in your packets. So other than that, I think that's a quick summary of what we're looking at to do with these 4 items, and would be happy to answer any questions if you have them.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else wanting to speak on this in this public hearing? Seeing none, hearing none. Close the public hearing.
Second.
Jackie?
Councilmember Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall.
Aye. Motion carries. All right. How about a resolution determining an area of the city to be an economic development area, and that the rehabilitation, conservation, redevelopment, development, or a combination thereof of such area is necessary in the interest of the public health, safety, or welfare of the residents of the city, designating such area as appropriate for urban renewal projects, and adopting the amendment number 4 to the Hillcrest Downtown Unified Urban Renewal Plan.
Move to approve.
Second. Questions, comments? Jackie?
Councilmember Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling.
Aye.
Motion carries. And then there's consideration of an ordinance to revise the collection of tax increment revenues within the urban renewal area as amended and as part of adopting amendment number 4 to the Hillcrest Downtown Unified Urban Renewal Plan for an urban renewal area in the city of Indianola.
Second.
Jackie, please.
Councilmember Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder.
Aye.
Southall.
Aye. Motion carries. And then a resolution setting dates of a consultation and a public hearing on a proposed amendment number 5 to the Hillcrest Downtown Unified Urban Renewal Plan in the city of Indianola, state of Iowa, after other Hillcrest items on the agenda. Sarah Britz,
I so move.
Second.
questions? Hey, Jackie?
Councilmember Schroeder.
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Urban Revitalization Plan. We have a public hearing on proposed amendment number 1 to the amended and restated 1998 citywide urban revitalization plan.
I move to have a public hearing.
Second.
Okay, Jackie?
Councilmember Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling.
Aye.
Motion carries. We're in a public hearing. Charlie.
Just to remind council, when the public hearing was set on this, I think we gave an explanation of it, but House File 418, which was signed by the governor, does remove the multi-residential property tax category from state code. So with that, we needed to make a change to our urban revitalization plan to take that portion out of it and just count those multifamily properties as just straight residential properties. So the change you have in front of you essentially is effectuating that change to state policy or state code, excuse me. So any questions, be happy to answer them.
Questions for Charlie? Cleaning that up. Anybody else here to speak on that public hearing? Hearing none, seeing none.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Second. Okay, Jackie.
Councilmember Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant.
Motion carries. Thank you. Resolution adopting amendment number 1 to the amended and restated 1998 citywide urban revitalization plan. To approve.
Second.
Jackie.
Councilmember Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall.
Aye. Motion carries. Next item is a resolution approving a development agreement with the Indianola Country Club.
Motion to approve.
Second.
Comments?
Mayor, council, this topic has been discussed over the last couple of years with a couple of different councils. Currently, the Indianola Country Club receives water from the current wastewater treatment plant for irrigation purposes. During the siting study with a previous city council, the request was made by the country club of the city to consider installing the same kind of irrigation line as part of our project, with the caveat that the country club would pay. Now that we've begun the process with the trunk sewer line, that was a bid alternate. We went back and shared that the cost with the country club, and we indicated to them that what the cost was, but then also what the interest rate that they would have to pay as part of it. We've shared that with this council, got direction to continue on that path. So what's before you is the development agreement that effectuates that agreement. So it's about $355,000 for the total cost. The country club is responsible for paying the city that total cost with the interest rate built in. So that $355,000, I think, includes the interest rate over the 10 years. As we were putting this together, we also took, there's a previous agreement that the city has with the country club, between 10 and 20 years. I don't know exact time, but it's an agreement that says that the country club pays the electricity for the pumping costs. So what we did was we also took that rather than having two separate agreements out there, we rolled that into one agreement. So that's also included in this development agreement. So this covers everything that we've been directed by previous councils and this council. We've shared this with the country club president, who's Kevin Halterman. So they're in support of this. And once this gets approved, then we'll continue on with that construction.
Questions for Ryan? Jackie, please.
Councilmember Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Then we move into a resolution directing the acceptance of a proposal to purchase $6,740,000 in general obligation capital loan notes, series 2021. I think Mike's.
Mike Maloney is on the Zoom call.
I think he might be on mute.
Do we want to move to approve?
Yeah, I think you move to approve first.
Second.
Oh, I'm here.
All right.
Sorry
there
about
you
that.
Mike, do you want to?
Hi, folks.
You good?
Ryan, Andy, I don't know if you guys want me to give a brief summary. I know there are some slides that can be provided. We don't need to run through them, but short and sweet. I think there's three main factors here for folks. If you want to take a look, rates are obviously extremely low, but on the second page, the next page, I just highlight that the overall cost, the true interest cost, which is our measure on these in the bond market, was 1.10%. That's obviously extremely favorable. It's a combination of both the current environment as well as the stellar AA2 rating that the city enjoys. I want to make a point of that rating being particularly strong. It's the third highest possible rating on a national scale, but that really, to follow up on the treasurer's report, makes for a great time to be borrowing funds, and the city's just happened to time this. This was part of our previous financial planning efforts. I'll pause there. Andy, Ryan, anything else to add on that point?
Yeah, just, Michael, I think it was, if the council remembers, we were providing the update a year in advance of what we were going to do. And here we are implementing the plan, which was probably now 2 years ago.
Correct.
Running the plan, and we're performing better than what we had presented at that point.
And if I'm not-
Exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, that AA2 rating, we can't really go any higher because of the size we are. I mean, we're constrained. We're doing the best we can.
Yeah, based on, and Michael, correct me if I misspeak here, but according to the scorecard that we received from Moody's, everything that the city council and city staff can control, anything within our power to control, we are AAA rated according to Moody's.
Yeah. If you go three slides down, that's exactly summarized, and you said it exactly right, Ryan. To the previous point, there's sort of a cap related to your scoring just based on your size in terms of population or valuation. But one more page there. Yeah, that's it. That scorecard that they include in the rating report, and I definitely encourage everyone to read that report. It's got some very useful highlights about the city's growth and planning, but all AAA on that rating category. That's maximizing what the city can do from a rating standpoint and minimizing the city's borrowing costs, exactly where you want to be.
And that's a testament to the leadership and guidance of the council and Andy and the finance staff and department heads.
A long ways to where we were 12 years ago.
Yes,
Correct.
agreed.
Yeah, and Pam.
I don't know that we need to dwell on it too much farther. I'm happy to answer any questions you've got, but just the last slide then is just talking a little bit about the remaining timeline. So today locks in the rates on the financing, and you'll have some additional paperwork for your September 7th meeting. It's a Tuesday because of the holiday there. And then the notes will close and funds will be delivered to the city for these projects on September 23rd. So I know there's some more content there, but I thought we'd keep it to just the facts for now. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions that staff or council or the mayor may have at this time.
Awesome.
It
Great.
is.
Yeah,
It is
great.
great.
It's in a good place.
Thank you for joining us for this. We appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Jackie, want to call
Councilmember Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling,
Aye.
Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall.
it? Aye. Motion carries. Thank you so much. Under new business, a resolution approving an agreement for the fiscal year 22 manhole lining project.
Move approved.
Second.
Rick, do you want to talk
Yep.
about?
Yes, yeah. Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'm Rick Graves, Water Source Recovery Director. The manhole lining project is funded by the annual collection system funds, and the cost is higher than normal due to adopting SUDAS last year, and which adopting SUDAS will give us a lot better product in the long run. And I'm recommending the award the contract to Redina Construction. If there's any questions.
Questions for Rick? Good project. All right, Jackie?
Councilmember Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Rick. Other business, city managers report. Ryan Waller.
I've got nothing other than receive and file the correspondence.
No, you don't.
Oh, sorry. Dang it.
Come on, Jackie.
Mayor and council, we have a new agenda creating software called Civic Clerk. It's easier for the staff to use, and it's also going to be a lot easier for the public and you to use too, because it'll have links to all the documents in there, so you don't have to scroll through multiple pages or rely on bookmarks. The council will have access to the agenda through a board portal. You should receive an email sometime this week to access the account. I've also sent you an email with a video on it, on how to use the portal. The board portal will allow you to create notes and have the agenda items easily accessible to you. So any notes that you create are viewed only by you, so it would make it easier for you to prepare for the meetings. Electronic voting is also an option that we'd like to implement in the future.
Notice the differences.
Yes, I was just gonna make mention of that, so you. We use for Convention and Visitors Bureau for Catch Des Moines, when we have our meetings, we use a program called Board Pack. And it's similar portal type of a thing, and it's very nice and easy to use, so I'm anxious to get into this one, and I think it'll be much easier.
All right. Then, how about a motion to receive and file correspondence from July 30th and August 6th, weekly updates from the city manager, Ryan Waller.
Moved as read.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Pose same sign. Motion carries. And then our final thing is to enter into closed session in accordance with Iowa Code Section 21.51C to discuss strategy with legal counsel in matters that are presently in litigation or where litigation is imminent and where its disclosure would be likely to prejudice or disadvantage the government.
I move to enter into closed session.
Second.
Okay, Jackie?
Councilmember Schroeder,
Aye.
Southall,
Aye.
Marchant,
Aye.
Hewlin,
Aye.
Parker,
Aye.
Kling.
Aye.
Motion carries. The only other thing on our agenda is to adjourn. So,
And there is no action coming out of, the council's not asked to take any action, so everybody in the audience is aware, of the people watching at home, there's
nothing else coming up. Exactly. All right. Thank you for joining us. We'll go into closed session here in just a minute.
Thank you.